Why are we acting like Rui Hachimura is going to take the Lakers to the championship? This guy has gotten worse every year. My goodness, talk about a bust. The fact that we got fleeced like that in another trade with the Lakers after what we saw with Thomas Bryant happen blows my mind. Does our GM have dementia? I don't know what's going on. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. The squad rides are 35-21, and tomorrow they're going to be 36-21. College of Charleston, they win big. Book that shit. They're fucking winning huge.
I've talked about it a million times. Baylor's guards can't guard a parked car. I just think this Baylor defense is going to get absolutely shredded.
What? You have 10 U's on the Sens, bro?
Ready? Here we go.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
There you go.
Plus 115. Boom. You know why? Because I trust the squad ride and that shit prints. Ten fours.
What's
Don't have Jovan to do the quick intros here, but you got your guy Krabs and Jovan, BTL episode 165 pace. Jovan, how we feeling?
Your hair looks great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You look cool.
It's flowing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
moving.
it's a good fucking.
Throwing
I
it out a
never
little
knew
bit.
you always wear a hat. I don't think I've ever seen what's under there.
I got a little bit of hair in there.
Looks sharp
I'm
as
holding
fuck.
on to it as long as I can. Hey, you got to look good, feel good, play good. Got the Krabs Bed sweatshirt on. Can't pick the right side. There we go. Boom.
I know it's hard to be a weatherman.
Yeah, and we got Jovan coming on. Don't worry, the milkman's coming in. All right.
Milkman's coming.
He needs about 10 minutes. Okay, he's a busy man. All right. And also when he gets here, let's get some W's for Jovan. He's been absolutely grinding on the Prize Picks props, and they've been smacking. He's like 15-4 on his college basketball props in the last month. So let's give him some respect. Okay. And yeah, Michigan yesterday. I hope you guys had 5.5. I sure as hell didn't. I had 5. That's okay. We push, we move. I hope you guys had 5.5 or at least pushed. What a game. What a game. College basketball last night was nuts, right? I don't know if you saw that Arizona finish to Jen, but it was fucking crazy.
I did.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Dogs were barking late nights. Pac-12 after dark.
They were.
It's no joke.
Washington
we've got
too.
Washington as well.
Yep.
In overtime, never in doubt. Hey, that team at home, man, that zone defense, UVA 2.0, that's tough to beat.
Is that what they're called? That's funny.
Well, they run a very similar zone to Tony Bennett and
Okay.
UVA. So it works, especially at home. And yesterday, it worked great, and it helped that they had the white boy absolutely draining threes the entire game. But Keon Brooks is a bucket, too. That's a pro. That Washington team at home, they can play. And they came through last night. So, we did okay yesterday. Charlotte did not come through. Mia Khalifa step bro was a bot. They got outscored like 20-5 in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Crawled back in, ended up losing by 2. We move. Can't win them all. All right. We've got plenty to talk about today, though. We've got 2 unbelievable games on Sunday. All right. NFL Conference Championships. I am so excited, and I've got some questions. I know you got some props you want to talk about. We've got winners. All right. We're going to talk about those. We'll talk about some props. We'll talk about some college basketball and shit. Maybe we'll even talk about some NBA and NHL today, because we got to find winners, and we got plenty of time to find them for today. All right? The CBB board today blows. It blows. Yep. But there's a couple interesting games that are catching my eye.
Yeah, just went through it. I got one or two that's looking at me funny.
Okay. All right. Look, I say we start with that. I think there's only 2 games on Sunday, so we could probably leave those for the end.
Sure.
And I know we need our guy Jovan here too. So, have you dove into NBA or NHL today?
Yeah, I just did them all. NHL. Okay. I'm gonna have my second official POD with an NHL play tonight that I absolutely love. But I like the NHL board. NBA is tricky, and as you just said, college basketball is pretty gross. So, really, you tell me where you want to start.
Yeah, let's start with NBA. You went through that. I'm curious what you got for me. Looking at the board here, I don't know how you're feeling. I mean, there's 5 games. Warriors at home on NBA TV late night. We got Memphis, Minnesota. That's kind of a weird game. Out of these 5 games, what's catching your eye? You got anything you love?
Well, I wouldn't say I do love something on the board. We'll get to it, but we can start with let's start with the late night game with the Raptors and the Warriors. Everybody pointed out to me that James Draws is announcing the Warriors lineup tonight. So
he is.
It does make it a tough time to fade the Warriors. But look, man, I like the Raptors the other night in Sacramento. I think I like them again in Golden State. It's very early, but just even with the early numbers, it looks like the Warriors are pretty public tonight. You look at the handle on VSiN, 92% of the bets, 96% of the money, 70% of the bets and money on the spread. Line's not moving from 5. So I think that's pretty telling. It's not like they're coming off of a big loss or anything. I think they beat the Grizzlies in their last game. They're 18-6 at home. The Raptors are 7-15 on the road. I just think if I'm playing this game, I'm going to take the points with the Raptors. Totals 237.5 down to 235 always makes me lean the dog. So between those games, I'd say that's the one I like the most. The Grizzlies T-Wolves game is the one I'm having the toughest time on. So Memphis has been bad lately, and the Wolves have been pretty good. So Memphis they're 6-4 straight up in their last 10, but they're 3-7 ATS. I think Desmond Bane is questionable.
Mhm.
But I got to tell you, the nasty play, the contrarian play would be the Timberwolves, 2.5 up to 3. At least I thought. But then I wondered if I'm getting duped because as a couple people pointed out to me in my stream, they think the Grizzlies are the nastier play given how bad they've been recently.
So I haven't bet the T-Wolves in a while. They really pissed me off early on in the season. I feel like they were sharp a lot, never came through. I don't know if much has changed since then. I mean, it looks like I'm looking at their previous, couple weeks here, and they're playing better ball. Are they starting to look like the team we expected that's supposed to be a little decent? I'd hope so. I'd hope so. But like you're saying, I mean, if the T-Wolves are playing good and Memphis is playing like dog shit, Memphis still laying 3 on the road. I mean, look, Memphis' record is really good. They must be one of the best teams in the NBA, but it's got to be T-Wolves plus the points at home. I don't care what's going on recently in the last week or so. Look at the team's records, and to be completely fair, the T-Wolves just don't come through ever. Or at least they haven't for me. They haven't for me. They're probably the sharp side here again, but do I want to go back to the well and bet on these fools? I don't know.
Well, the Grizzlies would be sharp. I think though they're 2.5 to 3. The total's up a point too. But like Billions just pointed out, the Grizzlies are on a 4-game losing streak. So how do you come into these types of games as like a contrarian bettor who fades narratives? Do you fade the fact that no way the Grizzlies will lose 5 in a row? Or do you grade it on, or do you look at it as the Grizzlies have been so bad, the T-Wolves I think they're playing okay in their last 5, and they just had a win on the road that they're coming back home from. So do you take the points with the home dog against a really bad team? I don't know what to do. I think I'm just staying off.
Yeah, I think they cancel out.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
both sides kind of cancel out. You just sit this one out.
I agree.
And I also know that Memphis respects coin and they cover, and the T-Wolves don't. And I'm at the point in my betting life where, you know what, I'm not going to force bets on teams that don't come through or respect coin. I'm not going to do it. I think it's a stay away spot. You could kind of give a nasty angle on both sides. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, Grizzlies are 9-16 ATS on the road too. It's not good. Not good.
Okay. What about this Bucks and Pacers game? Bucks going from 7.5 to 8.5, although the line probably moves in their direction most nights. And I'm assuming that they're public, but Pacers have not looked good one bit. I know the Bucks have been a little inconsistent, but I think Giannis is back from injury now, so they should be rolling. You got any thoughts on this one? Are you looking to take the Pacers at home, getting less than 10 points, or no?
No, I'm off. But I don't know. I mean, I guess what I was told is Giannis is a game time decision. So I'm assuming if the line's moving, it's from someone who's got maybe some insider information that he's going to play. So it has moved a point. The total's up 2 points. I guess the signs are that they he's gonna be playing, and if he does, I don't want to buy the good news. So I'm just off for this game entirely.
Okay. What about Cleveland and OKC? I'm seeing Cleveland open up a short favorite on the road, and now they're a small dog going to OKC, a team that, I mean, I'm pretty shocked to see them almost be 500 at this point. I know they're an absolute wagon at home. Yep. They are coming off a loss at home, but I know they've been absolutely on fire. I mean, they're 8-1-1 ATS their last 10, 7-3 outright. They're 14-10 outright at home for a team like OKC. In my eyes, that's pretty damn impressive. And 15-9 ATS at home. So this team covers. This team covers at home. You know, it's maybe they're a little too trendy at this point. I'm assuming you're about to come in and say that they're probably too trendy, and maybe you like Cleveland. Also, you know, the line might be moving because of injuries. What's up, Jovan?
What's up?
How we doing?
Great.
We're talking Donovan Mitchell. We're talking Cleveland against OKC in the line flip. All right.
Yeah.
Could be injury stuff. Donovan Mitchell's questionable. You know, Kevin Love questionable. A lot of question marks for Cleveland, and that definitely could be why that line flipped. But Cleveland's, you know, coming in as a favorite on the road, and OKC, who's been playing great at home, is definitely something. I know they're the better team, but you guys got any thoughts on that game?
Yes. That's my favorite NBA play tonight. Get ready to hear the Thunder pitched 100 times on stream. I'm going with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I hope Donovan Mitchell's out.
Right, and you hope the line stays where it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody knows by now we have our systems. I don't like going against a dog to a favorite, but the Thunder +1 to -1 on this injury news, potentially with a star player being out, is totally justified. So it's not anything that really concerns me. So I would take the Cavs. They are on a back-to-back. I like to back teams if it's a little bit grosser where it's a back off a loss, which that system has not been doing well this week. But they blew out the Rockets. I don't really think that counts. Nobody respects the Rockets or anything like that. So I'm gonna go Cavs here. It's my favorite NBA play tonight.
I will say Lou Dort is out for OKC, and that's new. That's a new thing.
Somebody's saying Donovan Mitchell's back. I was told that he's questionable. There's no injury report.
He definitely didn't play yesterday. He did return on Tuesday from a 3-game absence.
He's a game-time decision. Kevin, if his props are listed everywhere, that doesn't necessarily mean he's officially playing.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, similar to what I think is going on with the Giannis situation, I think somebody's probably moving this number, or the books are adjusting because they don't think he's going to play.
Okay, Jovan,
he's not. I love the Cavs.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
With that.
And to catch you up on what you missed, it wasn't much, but DeGen also really likes Toronto and the points on the road. Total going down against fading Golden State at home.
I heard that. I'm with that too. And I heard you talking about the T-Wolves, which I know it's a confusing game. I like T-Wolves in that game. Because I was looking through, I know you're talking about there's a couple different ways to approach it. I'm going to approach it as there's no way that the Grizzlies, which they've been pretty bad, but a lot of these games they've been injured or without Ja for a couple of these games that they've lost as well. So it's kind of an asterisk on their little losing streak. Plus, they're coming off of a big game against the Warriors that they lost the last second on that pool buzzer beater. So I think the approach that I'm going to take is no way they lose after a big emotional loss. They're going to be pissed off. And this T-Wolves team, yes, they play them tough a lot of the time, but I've been looking through when they're short dogs, they're covering a lot. Like just in the games, like even this month too. Start it plus 4.5 at home against the Nuggets, won that by 13. Plus 1.5 against the Blazers, won that outright by 7. Plus 4.5 against the Cavs, won that by 8. Plus 4 against the Jazz, lost that by 1. So I mean, they're doing this a lot, and I think it's going to continue. I don't think it's the Grizzlies' bounce back game today, so I'm kind of with back in the T-Wolves.
Okay. Any thoughts on Cleveland and OKC before we go to the ice?
Yeah, I can get down with some Cavs for sure, especially if D-Mitch is out.
Okay. So it's looking like, from reading chat, looking at Roto, and it's looking at his past couple games. So he missed 3 games, came back on Tuesday. People are saying he might have tweaked his groin again on Tuesday. Didn't play yesterday, and game time decision for today. I'm no doctor. I think there's a good chance, if that's the case, that he probably doesn't play today, potentially. So are you going to wait? Are you gentlemen going to wait?
Yeah, I always wait.
Plays?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how anybody puts a bet in before 6 o'clock on the NBA at this point, unless you're someone who's trying to take advantage of a star player being out, then that's totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And yes, picks with Drisk. Shout out Boogie Ellis. Shout out USC. Good bet last night.
Absolute hammy.
Yep. Jovan, you like Air Force today? Butter knife. You're on thin ice, brother.
Mods.
I'll be honest, Butter Knife. I like Air Force today.
I kind of do too. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not betting it. I thought it was a pretty big line originally, but
squad ride.
It's a ranked team versus Air Force at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more than 10 points.
Yeah, you guys can have that one. Yeah.
Fair. All right, let's go to the ice. Plenty of games. I'll let you guys take the wheel. Right? You guys have been balls deep in NHL recently, and I think you've had some success. I mean, Jovan, are you liking anything? I guess we can go down the line quickly. Ottawa, Toronto, anything in this game? Fat favorite here on Toronto.
Yeah, I initially was kind of leaning the Sens, but now Austin Matthews just got ruled out for like weeks. I think it's post All-Star game too. So I mean, I don't really want to buy that with the Leafs. I think I actually faded that the last time he was out for a game or two a couple weeks ago. So nothing for me there.
I would go over if anything. I agree. I don't want to. I thought about the Senators too, same exact thing, but I don't want to buy the bad news with Matthews out. Pretty sure the last time Matthews was out, the Leafs won outright.
Yeah, I remember that. I was on that one, I think.
Yeah, I think we both were on that one, and I don't want to. Not going against it by any means, but it looks like the last 10, both teams are 4-6 to the over. Totals at 6.5. I think if you have a star player out, you might have a tick down on it, and if it stays at that number, I would consider going over.
Okay. Yeah, big number for one of the best players in the league out. Mm-hmm. Pretty big number.
Yeah.
Detroit and the Islanders. You guys got anything in this game?
Yes, I like the
I'm
Isles.
moving heavily towards the Islanders. Yep,
I like
there
the
we go.
Isles. I'm gonna lay it. It's probably it might end up being my favorite one on the board because this is a I don't want to say an ultimate buy low, sell high spot because the Wings are still the Wings, but the Wings have been playing well recently. Won 3 of 4, including a win against the Knights on the road, coming off a back to back last night against the Habs, where they won that game. It's the Habs, whatever. But Islanders have lost 6 in a row, and Sorokin, who at one point was considered to be like him and Omar best goalies in the league, is 2-8 in the month of January, 9 goals in his last 2 games. So they've been terrible. This total is 5.5. The one thing that I always like to back for teams on a back-to-back, everybody likes that narrative. It's super public, but the one team I do back it against is the Islanders because of the physical brand of hockey they play. So a team like the Red Wings coming in the night, total at 5.5. Weirdly, I looked at this team total too. 3.5, only plus 100 for the Isles, which the last time they scored 4 goals, January 3rd. It's 12 games ago against the Canucks. So that seems like a really, really short price in a 5.5 total game. And looking at kind of the other side too, I mean the Wings team total is almost minus 110 for over 2.5, which they've only gone under that 2 of their last 10 games when they've been playing really well. So seems like a spot for me that we get like a 4-1, 4-0 even maybe a little Sorokin shutout on the Wings tonight.
Jen, you agreeing with Jovan on this one on the Islanders?
Yeah, I do. Went over this in my stream. One of your commenters, Furl, is a pretty good hockey sharp, and he plays the do theory with the Islanders. And I don't necessarily love that, but I know he's doing it, and I think I agree with it here. Everything Jovan said, I completely agree with, so I'm not going to repeat it. But yeah, I like the Islanders. I would even consider sprinkling them on the puck line if Jovan still is on board with this total system of 6 down to 5.5 soaring over. That's been the case because I always like if it's going to be an over game, I like taking the big favorite on the puck line as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean they've definitely slowed down as of late. My worry is that with this, I think it's going to have to be if you're getting over 5-1, 5-2 maybe. It's going to have to be a lot of goals from the Isles, which I think they're going to get. But I don't know.
Yeah.
The Red Wings are scoring more than 1 at the most today.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a fat move. It's moved almost 35, 40 cents towards the Islanders.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Big move.
You're in good hands. You're in good hands. What about the Panthers and Kings? We got, that line hasn't moved as much, but Kings have come down from, plus 125-ish to plus 120. They've dropped they've won their last 2, but were struggling before that. Florida was flipped. They were rolling, but they've lost their last 2. And this one is down in Florida. You got any thoughts on this one, Jovan?
Yeah, not really. Kings had been playing really, really well. They haven't slowed down, I guess, too much, but they're pretty injured now. And their goaltender, who I assume is going to be a net, Copley, I kind of look to fade him pretty cyclically, and he's kind of in a weird spot where I don't know exactly what to do with him, especially against the Panthers team that, God, who knows what the hell they're going to do on any given day. So, I mean, I don't have a play here.
I got a nugget from, again, another one of our followers, Bert, who I think sub-banks quite a bit. So shout out to Bert.
He's a beast.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. Florida Panthers in a game after a back-to-back, 5-1, 4.3 goals per game, and only allowing 1.67 goals per game. So I like that trend. I like that stat. If it were a play for me, I might stay off, but it would be Panthers or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fair.
Okay. You guys like anything in the Sharks and Carolina game? I mean, Carolina is damn near minus 300 at this point. So I
like the under.
Under 6.
Both teams are over teams. 8-2 to the over in their last 10 of the Hurricanes. Sharks 6-3-1 to the over last 10. Total sitting at 6. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
These guys have played. The game's gone under too.
Yeah, I don't mind that. The Sharks, I mean, they are not putting too many shots on the net when they play really good defensive teams, and you're talking about probably the premier defensive teams in terms of allowing SOGs and the Canes. So I think you're probably going to hear Canes minus 1.5 a little bit today.
Yeah,
just because of the spot they're in. I think we just get a little Reimer masterclass. Keep this one close.
Okay. Well, the over's definitely public, and it hasn't really crossed up to 6.5 yet. It's still over 6 juiced.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll be moving that, and if they don't move it, I'll definitely be intrigued to give that under a look.
I have
Glad you brought that
been
up.
seeing those that are a little juiced and just kind of refusing to move have been very often landing right on it.
Yeah.
Because that was, I mean, the Lightning Wild one, that was the squad ride, was the same exact thing too, and I've been noticing that ever since that point.
And that's how they happen. These totals at 6s, when they land right on it, they're 3-2 with an empty netter to give it a push.
Yep, exactly.
It's tough betting unders in hockey with the empty net aspect.
It's facts.
Fact.
Looks like people are. Are you guys talking college lacrosse in chat? Do they play games today?
Yes.
They got games today?
I saw someone bring up a college lacrosse spread.
My goodness. Who's
Yeah,
playing today,
no.
Jocko? Next weekend. Word. All right, we got time to get in the lab. I was gonna say. I
Oh
didn't think we
my
were playing today.
God.
Oh, it's coming. DeGen, man, you want to make some money? You get ready. You get ready to
that-
bet the fastest sport on 2 legs.
That's how you know
Lacrosse.
football's coming to an end. We're looking at a college lacrosse line a week early. I fucking love it.
Just wait till we start betting the Redwoods versus the Whipsnakes. I don't even know if you know what that is.
I'm in.
All right. Vegas and the Rangers. Rangers minus 155. This line hasn't moved a speck. Any thoughts on this one? Looks like the Rangers are a little public here at home.
Ooh.
Why is the Islanders team total 3.5?
Love
They
that.
haven't scored more than 2 goals in their last 5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
Perfect.
5-1 final incoming.
Yeah.
POD alert. Vegas Knights. Money line.
I like that.
Love the Knights.
Alert. All right. Money line, a little juicy, plus 132. Sure.
Yeah, the Knights have been pretty
What do you like
bad.
about it?
The Knights have
Yeah,
been
they
pretty
have.
bad. They're struggling, and their let me see, their last game. This is what I want to pull up. Their last game, they had a pretty tough stretch. They played 4 games in 6 nights. They lost to New Jersey in New Jersey in overtime. Tough game. They blew it. They were up 2-1. I think they allowed like a goal in the last minute, lost in OT. So they've had 2 nights to sit and dwell on that loss. The Rangers, as we may or may not know, I don't think they play that well at home. What's their record? Like 12, 9-3, like 500. Much better road team that play with much more energy, more spark. And Gerard Gallant is the Rangers coach. He used to be the Knights coach. He got fired. They already played in Vegas this year, and I think they got the little revenge game out of their system. The Rangers won on the road in Vegas 5-1. Now I think it flips. I think the Rangers are going to be pretty public tonight. I think people are going to expect them to bounce back after that shitty loss against Toronto. And I don't think it happens. I like Vegas to score first. I like Vegas team total over, and I like them on the money line. I love the Knights.
I love that.
All right.
Love that.
Yeah, it's looking like the Rangers are pretty damn public. They're getting around 70% of bets in hand already on that ML. I could get behind a little Vegas Golden Knights action. A little revenge
Happy to
game.
hear it.
A little bit.
All right. Up next, Devils in Dallas. Jovan. Is Dallas this year's Kraken? Are they stealing coins left and right? What's going on? I've been hearing a lot of people bitch about this team.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say they're Kraken level bad. It's just like everybody finds a spot to fade them, and it doesn't go well, and then you come back the next night, and everybody's backing them. It's just been that kind of cycle for a while, and it just doesn't work out. I'd say they're probably tapering off a little bit from how well they started the season too. I know Chelly's been all over that one, calling them like the biggest frauds in the NHL, which I don't necessarily disagree with. But this game is a little confusing. I'd kind of lean the move with Dallas a little bit, but I don't know if I want to buy that because, I mean, they've been not fantastic as of recently. The Devils have pulled off a couple big wins, kind of lean their way. I think Audie's in net. Wait for confirmation on the other side, but it's probably not something I'm playing.
Okay.
I'd like to give you a piece of my mind about the Dallas Stars since I fucking bet their season point total under on the year because I can't stand Peter DeBar, who's their manager. I would love to agree with you that they're extremely overrated, but I don't think they are. I think they're maybe a tad overrated. And I've been expecting the regression to come from this team. But even when they lose by 1 goal. Always. Look at it. Last Rangers in overtime by 1. Calgary by 1. Buffalo by 1. Hurricanes by 1. It's all within the last 2 weeks. 4 losses by 1. They're in every fucking game. So it's like I'm waiting for them to drop off, and they're not. So what am I doing tonight? Absolutely nothing. Staying away from this game, far, far away. Kind of lean over though, Jovan. You got any thoughts on that?
I don't mind that. Trying to look through because I know the Devils have not been scoring many goals recently, I guess.
Oh, is he asking about this game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of lean over. I think it's a nasty play.
Yeah, I don't mind that play. Hopefully it's VTech.
What should be noted, in my opinion, is the Devils' road record, 18-3-2 on the road. They are road warriors. So that is a pretty big number and a decent-sized move to the Stars.
Yeah, I mean the Stars team. That's what I mean. They've lost 2 in a row. Granted,
Yep.
I mean Sabres and Canes both at home, so
Yep.
it is a pretty interesting move.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Couple questions in chat. Are we going to talk SEC Big 12 Challenge? Sure.
Yeah,
We will.
yeah.
NFL been talked about yet? Nope. We're getting the NBA and NHL out of the way, gents. As people load in, and then we'll talk about winners for the weekend. All right. Stars just moved from -145 to -160.
Okay. Blackwood played yesterday too. Okay, so yeah, it's probably going to be Vanacek. So I mean, I don't hate a look at that over.
No, I like it. I like the over.
You like the over better than Dallas?
Yeah, the Devils weren't coming off a loss last night. I probably would lean more Stars, but
right.
over.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Two more games. Blue Jackets going to Vancouver. This line's moved a good amount towards the Canucks at home here. Looks like this team really hasn't picked it up much. Looks like the Blue Jackets are a public dog at this point, though. So, Jovan, why don't you start us off? You got to lean in this Blue Jackets and Canucks game.
Yeah, I mean, this right
highlighted
here, this exactly right here. I was looking at this and it stood out to me because I mean, first of all, the reason that they're that the CBJ is going to be a public dog is they just had that big win as what I don't even know their price in that Oilers game. They're plus 300, probably north of that, as a massive dog, and then they're coming into a situation where everybody looks at this game and there's no way or no reason that the Canucks should be minus 185 favorites in really any realm. And it's happened a couple times, and in those games they've been this heavily favored or even more. They've absolutely cruised in those games. So with that and with that team total that Pat's highlighting, it makes me think they're going to score some goals today. And yeah, CBJ did win that first meeting 100%, which not on the road, I don't believe. So they are much worse on the road, but it's a little surprising to see this price.
And CBJ just had a big win the other night, and the total's 6.5 up to 7. So I think probably the right play. Canucks to score.
Yeah.
TTO.
Yep.
All right. Could be a nice little cheeky way to almost like back in the Nucks who were minus 185. You're getting minus 135 instead, taking that TTO, and who knows? I mean, maybe both teams put up hella goals and Vancouver loses, but that TTO could still hit. So gives you some options there and better value, I guess, on the odds.
Yeah. That's probably, I mean, I wouldn't be against a little, I don't know who's in net for the Jackets, but if it's Elvis or whoever it is, some oversaves, because I think they're peppering that man today.
Okay. All right. We got one more game. Calgary and Seattle. Looks like Calgary flipped from, either pick 'em or maybe a slight favorite on the road to now Seattle sitting around minus 120 here at home. I feel like that's pretty typical. Line moving towards Seattle late night at home. I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't think I care. I think I have to take the Flames. This is like a dream spot as far as you're concerned, because I mean the Kraken are coming off of a game where a lot of the games that they come in and they're super public. The game before, they were everybody's favorite play against the Canucks. They rolled in that game by 5 goals, and now this is a Flames team who just last night were minus 400 favorites against the Blackhawks and lost that by, what was it, 5 goals, 4 goals? So I mean, as far as spots go, back-to-back going into Seattle, this short of an underdog doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Okay. I mean, 80% of the money and bets right now are on Seattle and now. So that could be part of the reason why that line's moving as well. Our guy Dead Larry Bird likes the over in that game. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on the total, gents?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to back because, they did just give up, 5 goals to the Blackhawks yesterday, 6 goals, whatever it was. So I mean, it's tough to back that more than just them as a side, especially now that they're obviously going to have not Markstrom and it's going to be Vladar, I would assume, who hasn't been like that much of a step down at all. But it's tough. I just would rather go with the Flames.
I don't love the over.
Yeah.
You gents get one hockey play tonight. What are you going with, Jovan?
It's the Isles, independent of like the price. I'll lay the -180. We'll be sprinkling that puck line too.
Okay. DeGen?
The Knights.
POD.
Golden Knights. Money line.
POD. Second POD ever?
Second POD ever.
Sure. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely love it. All right. Well, we can move. We can move to CBB today. If you guys are into that. Whoa, look at this St. Louis line. Absolutely ripping towards the Billikens. One of the biggest frauds in conference. Look, I was very, very high on this team. I have not liked what I've seen out of St. Louis this season. They are, on a win streak, though, and they've been taking care of business, but they haven't been covering too much. Davidson stinks. Overrated, overvalued, but, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that line didn't rig. Will I be betting Davidson? Fuck no. Could this be a Foster Lawyer legacy game where he gets right and hits like 7 threes? Yeah, it probably is, unfortunately. He probably goes off today. I don't even care about the line move. Look, if I didn't have Davidson banned, I would be betting on them in the spot, regardless of the line move. It doesn't make a lick of sense. Look, maybe Davidson's name is still overvalued from last season. I don't get it. But if anybody's watched them play, if anybody's watched Seattle play, or St. Louis play, over the last week or two, this line should be closer to 10.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I know it's a conference game. I know Davidson's home has a great home field advantage. That place is about to be rocking tonight, right? It's on ESPN2. It doesn't make a whole ton of sense. The only thing I could think of is the old veteran Foster Lawyer is about to be up to his old tricks again tonight. Hate to say it. Hate to say it. Trust me. I wanted to come on here and bet St. Louis. Can't.
Yeah.
Can't.
I know you would if you could. What if you could?
Trust me, I would if I could.
Yeah.
Trust me, I would if I could. Are you guys taking a shot on this?
Yeah, probably will. I mean, this line is absolutely disgusting. I know you guess you can say even though Davidson's been losing a lot of games, they've been in a lot of games. So I guess if you want to make an argument for that, that's a fine argument. But the St. Louis team has been really, really putting it together over these last couple of weeks. So to see this, I mean, I know they're on the road, but this Davidson team should probably be, I would think, a little closer to like 4.5, 5. And I know the line's kind of moving that way, but it's definitely not getting there. It feels a little short for sure.
Yeah, and hey, maybe the short line has to do with Davidson owning St. Louis, and yeah, St. Louis is like 2-9 versus Davidson. Yeah, Davidson beats St. Louis every year, every time they own them. But times have changed. This Davidson roster is depleted. St. Louis was projected to win this conference in the beginning of the season. Weird. I know DeGen wants that.
I'll tell you what I want. I want Davidson first half. And before I say why, can I just get confirmation that St. Louis hasn't played since January 21st?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what cools off a hot team? Time. Like Cootie and the Blowfish, baby. Little time off. It's perfect. It's exactly what St. Louis didn't need was time off. Now you got Davidson after a big road win against LaSalle. I don't even know where that is, but they're coming home. They're going to come out hot. St. Louis is going to come out rusty. Give me Davidson on the first half. I hate it so much. I love it.
I like it.
Thank you.
On that.
I like it. It's perfect too because then you don't have to root. You can actually root against Davidson in the second half.
God, get in, get out.
There you go.
If you're feeling as petty as I am at times, you could even potentially live bet St. Louis if they go down enough. It could be done.
You would do that. You would.
It could be done.
I will not be doing that. If I can get a unit out of this game, I'm fucking out.
This is going to be, and for anybody looking for basketball reasoning and actual analysis of this game, it's going to be a battle of two of the best point guards in the conference, debatably, in Collins and Foster Lawyer. Hate to say it, but it's going to be a battle. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to be watching it, probably cursing at the TV every 5 minutes when Foster bangs a three. But I'll be watching. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be tight. It's going to be close. You going to take the point in the first half?
Yes.
You're taking the ML. Sure.
Boy, give me the point. A tie at halftime is so
What was
doable.
I thinking? What was I thinking asking that? DK, fun fact, St. Louis has won 6 of 7 first halves against conference opponents in night games. Down to take Davidson first half. Wow,
Thank
Bert.
you, Bert.
Let's go, Bert. That's hard. That's hard. Davidson first half, St. Louis full game. Jovan, what's been going on in these games where the spreads, within a couple points here? What have you been noticing this season?
Yeah, been covering the first half. A little late collapse at the end. Start getting around the 5-minute mark of the second half. Teams start falling apart. So, wouldn't be against that.
You know where it fucked me though? I did it recently with Georgetown. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
They were up 6, 7-0 run to end the half. They pushed and then they won the full game. That was tough.
Well, we'll see. With Georgetown, I feel like it was a little different. Not that I'm just trying to talk about it after the fact, but I think they were short enough and they had the 2.5 years without a conference win. So I feel like we were betting on that more so than just the short line in the game, which is why we didn't even consider going first half there.
I should have listened to Behind the Lines that day.
That was a bet on Georgetown to pull out their first conference win in 2.5 years.
Yeah, good point. Great point.
Correct, Javon. Okay. Yeah, Birdie's a goats. And yeah, did you end the Whopper review? You were a fan.
Whopper.
You were a fan of the Whopper.
I mean, I don't know it depends on your definition of a fan. I think it was okay. It was better than I expected.
Okay. Lived up to expectations.
Have you had one recently?
No, but I've had a Whopper in my time and it plays. It passes the test.
There's a lot going on, but I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Burger King, it's not my favorite, but I feel like it gets a little too much slander. Burger King breakfast, very slept on.
Oh, the croissant is like my favorite.
Sandwich is elite. It's elite.
I never even knew that was a thing.
Oh,
yeah, tap in.
That sounds like it should be illegal.
Burger King breakfast. About 40 states.
It sounds like it should be illegal, but hey, if it's dank, it's dank. All right. We got a pretty interesting conference game here in the MAC. Iona and Siena's. Whoever takes this game is first place in the conference. This is a big one for Siena. It's going to be sold out. Crowd's going to be packed. It's on TV, ESPNU's. Not every day where the MAC gets on ESPNU. This is a big one. Now, this Iona team, they've seen better days. They haven't covered in a week or two. They've won 2 out of their last 4, but on paper, kind of like we've talked about with Dayton, this Iona team should roll in every single conference game. They're built, they're by far the best team in the conference. It's not even really that fair. It's the Rick Pitino effect. He's getting better prospects than, Iona or any other team in the MAC would get. It's not rocket science, right? But look, Siena, this team is decent. I know they're coming off a bad win, which kind of makes me like them a little bit more. Coming off an outright loss to Fairfield when they were -5. That can't be happening. But this Siena team will play up and they'll play down the competition. They will. This team almost beat Georgetown, and I know Georgetown sucks, but that team has way better players than a Siena team. They play up to comp. They play down to comp. I want to give Siena a look here at home to keep this one close against Pitino.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Trying to figure out the status of Mr. McCollum, because in that last game, he left it early, I think, because he got hurt. And I don't know if he's going to play. Yeah, JV McCollum. So if he's not playing and this line is the way it is against Iona, who's got a lot of advantages in this game, especially, shout out. If you don't know Nelly Jr. Joseph, get used to the guy. I've been secretly taking his PP square. He's a monster. But if JV McCollum isn't playing, this line is like it is, I'll gladly take a stab at Siena.
Okay.
Looks like Javion McCollum is going to be playing tonight. At least, fans of the team on Twitter are saying so it's got to be true.
Yeah,
people are thinking he's going to play.
He's been playing through a bunch of stuff the entire year, so I wouldn't.
And he's been playing fine.
He's been all right. Yeah,
he's been fine. It's not like he's been playing like shit and playing banged up. It is his back. I'd assume he's going to play, but again, you just don't fucking know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even if he plays, I still like him. Are they a little public though at home? Are they a little public? Let's see.
Siena?
Yeah.
A little, but look at the money line splits. That's what threw me off because I was even thinking Iona with the 6 to 6.5 move, but you also know how I feel about 6.5 point favorites. I find
They
them
just
not
don't
to be
cover.
covering. Yeah.
Yeah. Here,
They
I
don't
can run
cover.
this.
I mean,
Screen share.
yeah, Iona's getting nuked on the ML. Not really surprising. I mean, they're going to be in every parlay, right? Siena's definitely a little public. It's scaring me. They got a little up arrow next to bets, which is not good. That means that small bets are coming in, not big bets. Okay. Yeah, if that line's moving, if it gets up to 7 and holds, I'm probably off. To be completely honest. What about Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Cleveland State?
I like Purdue Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
I do.
This team gives me a stroke every time I bet on them.
Yeah, it's kind of how it is. But I mean, Cleveland State, they've been, I don't want to say they're like the team that we see every year because they're definitely not that team, but they've been playing better. And this game happened already. They beat them by 12 on the road as an underdog in that game. Now they're 4.5 down to 3.5 at home. Which in that first game too, I was looking. They kind of dominated the boards. They had like half of their points were second chance points, which was absolutely insane. And IPFW is coming off like this big blowout. They lost by 20 in Northern Kentucky. Then they barely won. I think they won by 5 or 6 against IUPUI, where they're like 20-point favorites almost. So to see this line come down a little bit is a little surprising, especially looking at that first game and how well they dominated that game in pretty much every facet. So I like them here. And this total, to be honest with you, seems a tad high with the way that IPFW shoots the ball, and really Cleveland State's strength is kind of limiting people from the perimeter and their three-point shooting, which they didn't do well in the first game. So maybe this is a spot where something has to give. In this game, they come out shooting pretty hot. So I like IPFW.
I can always get behind backing my guy Damian Chong-Kui. Little point guard, Mount St. Mary's transfer. He's fun to watch. He's no John Morant. He's only averaging less than 10 points a game this year, but they got Godfrey, who's pretty damn good. He can score for Purdue Fort Wayne's. And like you said, the spot is weird, right? They already got clapped earlier on. Yeah, our guy in chat knows 19 Jedris, sure. Little guy, but he's got heart. Little guy, big heart. All right? And he's got tournament experience. Look, this Purdue Fort Wayne team is old. They're seasoned. Cleveland State, their coach and pretty much the whole team is gone. They've been, treading water. They've honestly been playing great of late. They've covered their last 4 in a row. But like you said, Jovan, them clapping up Purdue Fort Wayne on the road already, and the spread, short. It's already short and getting shorter. Weird.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I mean, in that game, they were +5, I believe. So I mean, it's a big adjustment in the first place, but it got up. I think it opened 4, got up to 5 at a point today, and now it's come back down to 3.5 most places, which I like.
Okay. All right. Detroit Mercy and Robert Morris. I am absolutely shocked to see Robert Morris as a favorite in the spot, to be honest with you, and we're not going to talk about this one much, but Antoine Davis, I don't know why I can't say his first name. Antoine, right? Antoine Davis. He broke the record for most threes. He's got a bazillion points in college basketball. He's awesome. He plays for his dad. It's a great story and all, but the team blows. And it's pretty much just Davis getting his shots up at this point. Robert Morris has not beaten Detroit Mercy, though, in 70 million years. So I don't really know what's going on here. Davis should be able to get his and absolutely go off here, but he's coming off a terrible game. So I lean Robert Morris at home on the ML. I don't know if you guys have any leans in this. Yeah, it looks like they're getting steamed, Kevin. Yep. Yeah. I think they win this game. I don't know if they cover, but it's going to be close, and I think they get it done at home and beat Detroit Mercy for the first time in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I lean them too. It's tough. I don't want to fade Antoine Davis, partially because he is coming off of that great game, but I don't know if I have the stomach to do that. But in that game, that was what? They played Robert Morris 2 Saturdays ago. He had 11 threes and dropped 41 points, and that's where he broke the record, I believe, like our man in chat is talking about. And now his PP squares, which I know he's coming off a bad game, so it's probably going to be a little lower, but when he is on PP, I've seen the 4 to 4.5 threes, and I've seen 27, 28.5 points. He's at 25.5 today. And when he usually comes out for threes too, he usually starts at 4.5, goes down to 4. He's at 4 from the jump. And he's also at 3.5 assists, which I think is around his average, but when he's scoring a lot, he ain't passing the ball. So I think we might get him a little, maybe not as bad as the last game, but probably not the same performance that he did the first game either.
Okay. What about Oakland and Youngstown State? Woke up today with 7 million mentions in DMs saying Youngstown State, Youngstown State, Youngstown State. And look, we know what happens when that happens. So I automatically woke up leading Oakland. Spread moved from 10.5 to 8.5-ish. Look, I hate betting on Oakland. Another team that's just sharp all the time. They are. But don't let Oakland get hot. They're starting to play some decent ball. They've won 4 out of 5. Right? They just beat Detroit Mercy. They clapped them up. They strapped up. And I think they could do a similar thing today against Youngstown State, who was on fire, but they're finally coming off their first loss in a minute. I kind of like Oakland on the road, but if one of you tells me that it's just another fake sharp spot for Oakland here, I will listen and we'll go on a better day.
Yeah, maybe. Jen, do you have any thoughts on this game?
I like Oakland. I like Oakland for a couple of reasons. I think the line move jumped out to me, 10 to 8.5. I mean, yes, Oakland did have a pretty good win. They're 7-3 in their last 10, so they are getting it together. But Youngstown, what's that?
They're playing good.
Yeah, and Youngstown is coming off a loss, which concerns me, but it's not like they're coming off a stretch of losses. I mean, they had one loss, and before that, I think they won 5 or 6 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. They're 7-2 at home. So number doesn't look weird to me. If you tell me that Oakland's always sharp, it gives me a little bit of concern, 10 to 8.5, but I also love the total plummeting. I mean, is somebody out 155 to 149.5? And this is with Youngstown State playing their last 5 games. They're 5-0 to the over. So if this total's trending down and the dog is also seeing a sharp move, I really like Oakland.
You want me to tell you something too that probably makes you like that under more? So, I mean, they did play. What was it? That was same timeline as the other game. Not last Saturday, but the Saturday before. 85-69. So total hit 154. In that game, Youngstown State shot 14 of 26 from 3. Brandon Rush himself going for 30 was 7 of 10 from 3. So is that going to happen against an Oakland team that, I guess since that game, they've played a couple games. One of them is IPY, so it doesn't really count. But perimeter defense has looked a little better because they did play the game against Antoine Davis, held him 3 of 16 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3. So it's a hell of an accomplishment. Maybe they're starting to get right a little bit on the defensive end, at least enough to go under 140 or 149. So I kind of like that under angle. Makes me lean Oakland too.
Okay.
I mean, with 80% of money on the over as well, it's definitely a little weird that it's gone down 5 points.
Yeah, it's a big drop.
Yeah.
I'll do some digging this afternoon and see if I can find any injury BS.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. All right. A couple more games here. Buffalo, Kent State. Jovan, you were talking about how Kent State might be a little fraudulent, you're thinking. Maybe a little bit overvalued this week, you were talking about. Are you taking a stab on University of Buffalo on the road here? If they were home, I'd be on them. I don't know if I want to back this team on the road. They stink.
Yeah, they're not very good. So, I mean, I don't particularly care for Kent State just in general, but I mean, I'm not a big Buffalo fan either. It's not that I think Kent State is bad. It's just when I talk about, like, they're usually a team with sincere carry that you kind of look at and you say, this is the team that maybe could pull an upset just because they can score at such a high clip in the tournament or whenever they get in or if they get in. I don't really see that this year. Like that's more of my issue. And I would kind of lean them in this game because I do think while Buffalo is pretty bad on the road, this is a decently sized number for Kent State to be hanging coming off of a double-digit loss against a horrendous NIU team as 12.5-point favorites. So it would probably be, if I had to take anything in this game, probably a little Kent State first half.
Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they are coming off of one of the worst losses of the season for any team, really. Inexcusable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I could see that. They get out to a little bit of a hot start. Maybe Buffalo, maybe Mima shows up late. in a little Buffalo shirt. Rooting
Yeah.
for them. Maybe
As
they
bad
go
as
to
they've
late.
been on the road too. I mean, again, spot thing. They're coming off of a 26-point victory against Ball State as 5.5-point dogs on the road this week. So decent spot to start fading.
Yeah. Buffalo is 1-5 on the road this year. Kent State 9-0. Have
Yeah.
not lost at home this year. That's a tough task to keep up. I think I'm probably off this game, to be completely fair.
Yeah, probably nothing for me.
Yeah, Bert, they've won a bunch in a row. I think it does go back to last year. All right. Okay, have we talked about the Davidson game already? Yeah, Brian. I mean, I'm never betting on Davidson. But I think the consensus was, Davidson first half, getting it out, +1.5. And then take all your winnings and throw it immediately on St. Louis ML live. Don't actually do that second part, but that's what I'll be doing if I bet that. Just out of spite. All right. Let's talk about the best game of the night. Take me home piece, if you will. Air Force going to New Mexico's. Jamal Mashburn coming off his best career game. Jovan, head up, chin up, you'll be all right. I'm going to be taking Air Force in this one, I think. Don't care if the line is fat. Doesn't really bother me. Air Force is one of the slowest teams, if not the slowest team in the country, and I think they make New Mexico, and I think they make them uncomfortable at home. And look, we've talked about New Mexico being overrated and how they can't keep getting away with it, running the Houston Rockets offense. And look, if they want to rely on, Jamal Mashburn, Junior literally just banging, crazy mid-ranges, fading away, or threes, coming down the court, sure. Go ahead. Be my guest. But I'm going to be back in Air Force, a team that's coming off of 2 bad losses where they got absolutely pummeled by San Jose State in their last one by 30, which is a bad look. And New Mexico's coming off, an OT battle that they lost. I'm going to be on Air Force here, barring really anything. And look, the splits look good. Air Force has one real good player. That's about it. They don't have a Jamal Mashburn. They don't have an NBA-type talent. But in my opinion, they play hard. The academies never give up. They play with heart. And it's a bad matchup for New Mexico. 2 guards who think they're in the NBA already. I think they're in for a rude awakening from this team playing some really good defense tonight, potentially, in Air Force.
I mean, I like them. I like Air Force in the spot. I'm not going to do it for the sake of all the Air Force bettors and yourself out there, but it is kind of a good spot for Air Force. I hate to say it because, I mean, like you said, New Mexico's coming off of not just 1 overtime battle, but 2, and not just the last game, but the Boise State game too. And they're coming back to the pit. Air Force, you know what they're going to do. They're going to clog the paint. They're going to stop, New Mexico from just rim running, which is their specialty. And they're going to get back on defense too, which is very important because it stops them in transition as well. So, I mean, it's a good spot. I think New Mexico, coming off of those games, not only are they going to be just a little overall kind of gassed, but perimeter defense that already is pretty weak to begin with, it's probably going to be a little bit worse. They're going to allow Air Force to drive to the rim a little easier. So I would lean Air Force. I hate to say it. I'm not going to play it, but it's the only reason why.
Yeah, if they didn't own you, you'd be playing them.
Yeah, I would. I 100% would.
Okay. DeGen, you got any thoughts on this one?
It's always when someone you bend and you don't break and you finally break, someone else has got to do it. And I feel like I'm going to do it. Krabs, I don't know if you're doing it. I'm going to do it.
Doing it.
Okay, I'm doing it too. I'm doing it too.
Yeah,
I'm going to take it for us.
Do it for
Somebody asked if New Mexico has a center. They do have a good center.
Yeah.
They do. Look, I think New Mexico is going to be a little tired in the second half here, especially with the offense they run, how fast they run. Talk about a team that could be gassed. I mean, they run up and down the court like maniacs. And a team that's never going to struggle with conditioning is Air Force and Military Academy. That's number 1, they're in great shape. They're a fucking military school. Number 2, they play up in the mountains as well. So they'll be conditioned. They'll be ready to go. They're not going to get tired. So even if this one gets ugly early, they could sneak back in, and they're not going to give up. And look what happened to Utah State in their other game when they, coming off of 2 double OT games, and then they play San Diego State, and that one, they just ran out of energy. at the end of the game, and I'll end up losing my 10 in a game that was close. So I think we see a similar result here again today too. They're just kids. They're not superheroes. The Jamal Mashburn Jr. is probably potentially a pro. I don't know if he's going to be enough. And, I hate to bank on, negative regression shooting-wise, but he's coming off his best game of his career. So I like to fade. All right?
Yeah.
I'll be on Air Force probably. Hate to say it. Air Force I liked. I liked the Robert Morris angle we talked about. Purdue Fort Wayne I really liked as well too. And, hey, I don't know if I'll be betting it, but Davidson first half is definitely a look. But I don't think we're in a rush to bet that. We might get a better number as the day goes on. All right? You guys want to talk about some NFL?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm assuming we're on the same page. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. We'll start with game 1, San Francisco and Philly. Look, I want to take San Francisco here on the road. I want to take the points. I don't really know what I'm going to do because I have that future, so it probably wouldn't be smart for me to bet on the 49ers. I should probably let it ride, or if anything, probably take the fucking Eagles, ML to hedge. But personally, no futures, just looking at this game, trying to cap it. I don't even care about the line movement. I mean, the Eagles are getting absolutely hammered. I don't know if we can pull the splits up for the NFL games or not. But the Eagles are getting slammed, hence why that line's moving. I want to bet on the better coach. I want to bet on the best defense and take the 49ers in the points. And you guys know I love me a good plus 2.5. Would love your guys' thoughts on this first game. We'll start with Jovan. Where's your head at in the NFC Championship?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Brock Purdy has never played a true road game in a hostile environment. I've been seeing that a lot this week because he wasn't good in college, I guess. His road record wasn't great, and he hasn't faced real tough environments like Philly. And with this game sitting at 2.5, I'm definitely a little compelled to fade that, especially, I'm looking at that total. That total for, obviously the 49ers game, these are two great defenses to begin with. The 49ers game last week, soared under against a really good defense. And even though the Eagles' offense was impeccable in that game, still didn't go over because their defense did enough to hold the Giants to absolutely nothing. So it's a little strange to me. I think we get a back-and-forth game, and I would love to take a stab at that plus 2.5. So I'm kind of leaning that way.
The Jen?
Yeah, I don't know how many people in here listen to as much sports betting information and podcasts and whatever as I do, but I'm just consume myself with it whenever I'm not doing a real job. And I heard that a sportsbook manager come on, may have been for Circa or Borgata or something, and he said, what's interesting that I've learned later in life is that the limits for games, the wager limits throughout the week, they're kind of let's say they're around like 10 grand or something. They'll go up, or I'm sorry, let's say they're around like 2-3 grand. They'll go up 8 to 10 times that the day of the game. So a lot of the handle hasn't really hit the true handle. But he said, based off of what's happened all this week, it almost doesn't even matter. What will make or break them is the result in this Eagles game. The books need the Niners. So if you are someone who bets like that and you're betting contrarian and you want to put yourself on the side of the house and fade the public, you're on the Niners and you're not even thinking twice about it. I do think it says a lot that the line is at 2.5. Krabs, I totally agree with you. That, to me, especially for the home team, always feels like a bit of a trap. And I can go back and give you examples of Steelers minus 2.5 against the Ravens when Tyler Huntley playing, Panthers minus 2.5 against the Steelers, et cetera, et cetera. I think it really is one of those numbers that makes you have to lean the dog, especially when the public's on the other side. If it goes up to 3, it'll concern me a little bit. But then to Javon's point, again, all you're hearing narrative-wise, Brock Purdy on the road, Brock Purdy against the Eagles, it's going to be tough, yeah. But he's in an offense. This is all you're hearing. It's all you're hearing. And now it could happen. I think the Eagles are the real deal. We've had a long enough sample size to know that they're not due for a letdown, unless it's your Tyler Heineke. But I think Brock Purdy, this was important. They did get a road game in on a short week in Seattle. I think that was important. Now, we know Seattle's a tough place to play. Are there fans, people in Seattle, anything like the people in Philly? No. People in Philly fucking a lot tougher. They're probably going to say a lot more mean things. Do I think it matters? Not really. I don't. Because of Shanahan's offense. I think if there's ever a time to get creative and throw in some gadget plays, I think now is going to be the time. But I do think that Purdy is probably going to throw. What do his pass yards look like? Just curious if they're greened out, red out. Yes, I mean, nothing really there that tells me anything. At the end of the day, sorry for the long rant. It was only, a couple games left in the season, so I figured it's worth it to pour my heart out. I'm on the Niners team total over 22.5. It's slightly juiced under. I think we see points. I like the over in the game, but I think my score prediction, my gut says if the Niners lose, it's 28-24. It's just outside the number, and the economy is saved and we avoid recession. Or I think if the Niners win, I actually think they win convincingly. I think it's like a 28-17 game, and I think the one thing the Eagles have to do is pass the ball, and I don't think they find success doing it. I think the Niners can find some control on the game and handle it and potentially even win, like I said, convincingly by double digits. So my play is going to be Niners over 22.5, especially after they only scored 19 at home against the Cowboys, and people are saying this Eagles defense is better.
Honestly, you're talking me into taking that angle rather than taking the side on the game. I like that.
Yeah, chat's making me want to put a freaking nagel down on the 49ers. I'm not going to lie.
Triple down.
Respectfully.
It would be very difficult for you to find someone taking the Niners. Very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Well, except for the 3 people up here.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you're digging around a little bit, Jovan? You're peeping around?
Yeah, we're just perusing a little bit, talking about while we're talking, going through, seeing what catches the eye.
Okay.
Go to I did this a little bit. Go to Deebo Samuel receiving yards. That looked a little higher to me, and my buddy pointed out his rushing yards looked a little low. Yeah, you can see me. He soared over it one game.
18.
I like Deebo to score. He's my anytime touchdown play. I think he's plus 140 maybe.
Is he, Jovan? You like any of these weird pairs that he's got?
One that could definitely catch my eye with Elijah Mitchell, because I know there's been, which he's involved too. There's been a couple injury situations with him and McCaffrey not being full speed, whatever. I could very well see him getting some goal line touches in this game if they get down there, and I think they're going to score points. So he's going to have a chance. So this would probably be my square pair if you're talking about a Deebo touchdown with something on a prize pick square. I like that one.
Deebo and Elijah.
Yeah.
This is a perfect transition because I wanted to talk about McCaffrey. Last week, they didn't really use him. Look, maybe his calf really is hurt. Maybe he is hurt. McCaffrey's calf. Maybe it's fucked up. They said this week he's fine. I don't know. I mean, he really didn't play much last week. And, hey, you could say they didn't really need him. They didn't really need to press it. I guess that's true. But, I mean, gosh, you're not going to put your best player out there that you traded for. It's, since he's been on your team, you haven't lost, knock on wood. And you're not going to play him. Something's got to be hurt. Something's got to be going on. And like you said, their whole backfield is pretty much hurt right now. So, Jovan, I don't know what the heck's gonna happen here. I mean, look, we could see Deebo Samuel take 20 or 15 carries in the backfield for the first time this season. Who knows what Shanahan's gonna pull out of his ass? We have no idea.
This number
any of these McCaffrey props calling your name.
I mean, this one is down from 10 yards or down 10 yards almost.
Got to be injury related.
Yeah, it's got to be. It got bumped down 4 times. I'm seeing. I mean, same thing with pretty much every single prop that he has, which it's not like that irregular because I feel like this happens probably every other week. But in a big game, this looks like a pretty low number. It's going to be pretty enticing.
I've got 2 things to bring up. Do I have time?
Of course.
Yes. So when I was doing my stream the other day with a friend, he pointed out, or he says he thinks he likes Brock Purdy over longest pass completion on FanDuel. I believe Hurts's line is set at 39.5, and Purdy was 34.5. Did you think it was interesting that Purdy was only 5 yards shorter than Hurts? I thought it was a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. My one thing with that kind of football brand into it is that we've seen him just throw the ball to Kittle, throw the ball to Deebo, and they get 30 yards of yak. So that would scare me as far as it making a little bit of sense. I mean, McCaffrey can even do it too in the situation, but I guess 5 yards could be a little short.
The other thing that Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
The other thing, so I watched that Giants-Eagles game, and it was unfortunate that Daniel Jones ended up playing like the Daniel Jones that I know and love.
Please pay him. New York, please pay him. Continue.
Oh, dude, I'd be saying the same thing if I were you. 15 of 27, 135 yards passing. That's 5 yards on an average. No touchdowns and 1 interception. But you might be asking yourself, if Daniel Jones, the Messiah for 1 week in the state of New York, didn't have a touchdown pass, how did the Giants score their lone touchdown? They ran a wildcat. Granted, it was in the third quarter, down 28, but they ran a wildcat, and I tweeted about this, with Saquon and Matt Breida. And sorry if I'm mispronouncing Breida, whatever. And it worked with ease. Saquon was quarterback, handed off to Breida. Breida ran in untouched to score a touchdown, like 10 yards, whatever. It wasn't anything crazy. I do like the Niners rushing attack in this game. And if you look at even with the rushing success that the Giants had, of course, they had to abandon it, but they averaged 6 yards a carry, 20 carries, 118 yards. I think the Niners can run on the Eagles defense, and I think they score that way too. So I really think there's going to be a gadget play of some sort that Debo gets in the end zone, or Elijah Mitchell, I think, would be a really good look. So what I'm getting at is I love that square that Jovan pointed out.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Love to take that.
Okay.
Love it.
Any takes on this total? It's gone down about a half a point, maybe a point, depending where you look. Look, I mean, from this point on, you probably won't see me taking over in these next 3 games. I feel like the under's probably, if you take the under in all 3 games going forward blindly, it's probably just going to go 2-1 because everyone's going to be on the overs, and the books know that. So I automatically lean under in every game. I don't know what the heck's going to happen here. If you guys think Brock Purdy's about to be passing a lot, that definitely scares me. And if you're thinking there's going to be points.
Yeah,
Like
I think that, I mean, it's not that it's gone down too much, but I thought the opener was high to begin with.
45.5 to 46.5, right?
It was going up. I thought you just said he was going down.
I unless I have the opener wrong, I thought it opened 45.5.
Okay.
Let me check.
According to Covers page, across the board, the consensus was 45.5. It's up to 46.5, but the under 46.5 is still juiced to minus 115. That's what I'm saying.
I'm good with that too. I still think it's high.
I
Wherever it opened within those couple points.
I think you guys are right. It's actually going up, and I'm seeing it open up around 45.5 in most places. I just checked a bunch of different books.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call. All right. Definitely not taking the under in this one then, if it's going up. Okay. And yeah, that opener did open up a little bit high, I guess, between two teams who, I mean, you'd expect the 49ers to be pretty run heavy if Brock Purdy is this inept, like everyone's acting like. And then, I mean, Philly, we know they run the heck out of the ball too, and they run it well. So I guess the over would be a little bit of a contrarian play. I don't know what the splits are like right now. I can pull it up. I got it right here. Looking like...
Yeah, under's pretty public.
The under's pretty damn public. 60-ish% of bets and handle on the under. And it's going up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's move on to game 2. Why not us? Cincy and Kansas City, this line has been bouncing around a ton. Maybe it's settling here. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably settling around here. Or at least the Chiefs will probably be a favorite going forward. I don't know what the heck was going on earlier this week. Maybe it was more injury concerns with Mahomes, and maybe when we've found out some more stuff going on this week, and people, or at least the books, are thinking he'll be okay out there this week. I don't know if he will be. But personally, I think the Chiefs win this game. Look, we know Joe Burrow owns the Chiefs. I think he's 3-0 in the playoffs against Mahomes. And look, he plays incredible, and he doesn't care what lines are sharp or what's not. Joey covers. He should change his freaking name. He's incredible. I don't know if I want to fade. I had that AFC ticket for them to win the AFC, the Chiefs. At plus 130, I could let that ride, or plus 150, I could let that ride, and it's like having the Chiefs plus 150 in this game. Probably not that smart. I probably should hedge, but hey, futures aside, looking at this game, I like the Chiefs. They're a favorite at home against a team that's owned them in years past, hasn't lost to them yet in the playoffs. So that's a little high, sure. Now, does that mean that there's going to be garbage time? They're going to be playing from behind, and you're going to need Mahomes to get 100 yards in the last 3 minutes of the game to get a touchdown to potentially cover or win the game? Could. Could.
But I mean, I
Or
would just
he
rather.
just has a legacy performance.
Yeah, I mean, I would just rather fade the he's hurt narrative. I think he's going to be fine. Like, I mean, I don't want to say that the injury is not a concern or whatever, but Patrick Mahomes, I have watched this with my own two eyes. He at Texas Tech for 4 years got hurt like this every other week, pretty much. He was always playing on one leg. So this is an AFC championship. It's obviously a much tougher challenge, but I have confidence in him that he can go out there and still play his game. And this number does seem a little high, even if they have to pass throughout the end of that game or whatever, because he wasn't looking fantastic in that Jags game, even when they were throwing the ball, trying to kind of cement their lead in that game. So and I mean, our man Token saying Mahomes under pass yards is the most popular bet, I'm sure.
I bet it is.
Yeah, and
I bet it is.
It's 282 on DK and FanDuel. I mean,
Seems high.
might want to lock that in on Prize Picks now if you have the chance. So I think we get a little Pat showcase today or this weekend.
Did Jen?
Yeah, I think if one of these games, I feel like the public's going to be on the right side. Unfortunately, I hope it's not with the Eagles. Nothing against Philly. I'm a Shanahan guy and I have a Niners future as well as you do, Krabs. But if that will skew my decision in this game, I'm not going to go full game. I'm going to go Chiefs first half. I do, if anything, maybe this is a little bit of an obvious narrative, but the injury wears on him a little bit throughout the game. But also, Burrow scares me to hang in it. Chelly Subbang. He terrifies me. I don't want to fade him, so I feel like this is the kind of the way to do it without. It's like saying you're not drinking anymore, but like you still drink white wine or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do. So I feel like I'm not fading Joe Burrow, but I'm going to take the Chiefs first half, and I do like the under in this game. So full game under. I think it could be one of those things where the offenses don't really come up with big explosive plays, but rather there's just slower, methodical drives. I could see that happening. I think one thing we have to definitely understand from these games is the Giants, after they just played the Vikings defense, now the Bengals after they're just playing the Bills defense. Guys, the Bills defense is fucking bad, really bad. And they kind of did that. It wasn't like it just came out of nowhere. The Dolphins put up 31 points on them. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you watch that game, the Bills defense was just nowhere to be found in the secondary. Their D-line couldn't get any penetration up front. So I think the Chiefs defense, much better. I think it's going to cause the Bengals some problems. Let's be real. The Ravens were really close to taking down the Bengals, who I think had the best defense in the playoffs. They were playing out of their minds. So a good defense, I think, can stop the Bengals a little bit. But so that makes me like the under, and I like the Chiefs first half. Those are going to be my two plays.
Yeah, not that. No,
I like the under a lot in this game. Look, don't ever think it. It's two of the best, highest powered offenses in football. Take the under. Don't ever think it. I love it. Now, the Bills defense would like a word, did Jen, about a good defense slowing down, the Bengals. That didn't really work. But maybe the Bills just suck. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, our man, right here. I mean, the defense hasn't been the same since they lost Von Miller.
Yeah,
they haven't really been healthy over the course of the season as well. But I like this. It's kind of going along with that. I like this rushing yard square for Burrow, which I have seen a couple places, which I don't love, but I think people forget. I mean, you're talking about that Bills defense getting absolutely no pressure, and they weren't good for a lot of that game. Burrow still put up 31 rushing yards, which obviously is a big uptick from any of these past games. And I think that continues, and I think the Chiefs D-line actually does get pressure on them because, again, people forget their O-line is seriously banged up, and just in general very bad. So I think that's going to come to fruition a little bit if the Chiefs are going to hang in this game, which obviously I think they do. So I think Burrow's going to be running for his life quite a few times.
If you watch that game closely too, I mean, I had the Bills. I was watching every play, and I was just pulling my hair out. The Bengals offensive line with 3 backups playing were bullying them.
Dominant.
It was unbelievable. I really honestly could not believe it. And I just don't think that happens again. I really don't. So I like that. I like that square a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what their sack square is at. What we're talking about too.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have these. Nice.
Like that.
Nice.
Like that.
Okay. Sure. Jovan, are you going to be on the Chiefs ML, you think?
No, just because I have future investments.
Right. So what do you got to do? Are you just letting it ride? Are you
I'm just
hedging
letting it
all?
ride because I have
Okay.
AFC Championship, I have Super Bowl, and I have Pat MVP. So I'm gonna leave it as is.
Nice.
Yeah, Matt, Chris Jones is an absolute fucking beast.
Yeah,
Absolute
good point,
fucking
Matt.
beast.
He is very good.
I really wish they had Mahomes rushing yards up. I really do. I would take it in a heartbeat.
Love it. Chat, good vibes today. Absolutely love it. We're winning our bets today. All right, it's Friday.
Yeah.
We're hitting the bars. We're hitting our bets. All right, good vibes today. Absolutely love it. And yeah, Chris Jones is awesome. He's freaking awesome. He could win this game. He could be MVP. He could get 3 sacks himself. He's a freaking menace. Probably not, but he's awesome. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the under in that game. Love it. DeGen, you're being smart. You're taking the first half. Love it. All right. Guys, we got to come up with a play we love today. We need a squad ride win, okay? Michigan yesterday, technically it hit. We gave it out at 5.5. I hope everyone got it at 5.5. If not, you got it at 5 with me. We pushed, we move, okay? Gosh darn it. That stunk. But you know what? They probably shouldn't have covered anyway, so we count our blessings and we move. All right? What do we like today, gents? What do we like today? What's your favorite play today? Any sport? Anything. What do we like? We'll start with you, Jovan. One play, one winner. I know you liked a lot of hockey today.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of that not by choice. Had to dig in today because the slate otherwise pretty bad. But probably if I had one play, it would be the Isles. I know it's a little juicy, so we can debate on that in chat whether we're going to go ML or puck line because I'm going to be playing both. But it's my favorite side for sure.
Okay. What are the odds on puck line and what are the odds on the ML?
ML minus 180, puck line plus 140.
Okay.
Or can do in reg. I don't mind that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What are the in reg odds? I don't have those up.
That's a good.
Can someone in chat find out what the in reg odds are for the Islanders, please. While we come up with other winners. DeGen, are you going with your POD, the Vegas Golden Knights?
Yeah, I got to keep that for myself. You guys can't have it.
That's fair.
I'm just kidding.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say, but no, I mean, I like some stuff on the ice. I completely agree, though. I think the Islanders would be my second favorite, and then probably, I don't really want either of the totals to be in there, but I do like that Sharks under, and I like the Leafs over. I would say, you know, for me, college basketball, make it short and sweet. I like Oakland. I know how much you hate Davidson after reading the comments in this chat. So I feel like they shouldn't go in the squad ride. And I feel like the T-Wolves or the Raptors could be good squad ride candidates, in my opinion.
I can get down with both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to let the people choose anyway. So I would nominate those two personally.
Okay. Let's put in Toronto plus 5. People do like some NBA. We could put in Jovan. You like Minnesota plus 3. You're probably going to end up playing it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put those in too. Okay. We'll put the Islanders in. Do you guys want to put in minus 110 in reg?
Yeah, put that in. Put in reg.
Islanders in reg. All right. Minus 110. Love it. So we got Islanders. We got Toronto plus 5. We got Minnesota plus 3. I'd be down to put in Air Force in CBB. I'd be down to put in Oakland in CBB. We'll leave Air Force out of respect.
No, we can put it in. If we put it in and it wins the squad ride, I will, for the sake of everybody, I will put money on the other side.
No, I don't want you to do that.
Aren't you a college student?
Yeah.
I don't want
Can't
you
have
to
a
do
college
that.
student doing that.
No, we're doing
Benny,
well.
come with
We're doing
Big
well.
Benny, come with new energy on Monday, bro. I know you're better than that. Come on. 10U Mega Whale, Islanders, and Reg it is. We'll go ahead and cut that in 1/10, brother. But yeah, I like it.
Flames? DeGen?
Flames?
Oh God, I'd way rather go Islanders.
Oh, I mean, the Islanders are in the voting. We're just coming up with the.
Why don't we go? I like Purdue Fort Wayne plus 3.5 a lot. That's probably a play I'm going to be on personally.
Yeah,
Why don't we go
dude,
Purdue Fort Wayne?
If you needed another NHL play, I guess I would say the Flames. But if you don't, I think Krabs pull out your gross college basketball
Yeah.
play. Let's see what the crowd thinks of that.
Jovan, you want Oakland or you want Robert Morris? I kind
Oakland
of
or
want Robert Morris.
House
Lord.
divided.
Probably Robert Morris.
Let's go RMML.
Yeah.
They win today. All right, we got New York Islanders, ML and Reg, -110. That's a mouthful. We got Toronto +5, Minnesota +3 in the NBA. All right, there's your NBA fix. We got Purdue Fort Wayne +3.5. Back in Chongqui, the Mount St. Mary's legend. And we got Robert Morris, money line. All right, 5 plays, 5 winners. 5 plays, 5 winners. Davidson winning tonight. The line makes me want to throw up. Unfortunately, probably yes. I think DeGen likes first half +1.5. I could get behind that as well. Getting it out.
Yeah.
Getting it out. All right, I'm rocking my Isles hat for y'all. Good luck. Yes, sir. Ace, appreciate it, my man.
Yeah. There you go.
Appreciate it.
It's the energy we need.
Any big weekend plans, gentlemen? Anything crazy going on? You hitting the clubs?
I mean, of course, you got to. But I'm gassed. It's been a long couple weeks.
DeGen, you stepping out this weekend? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to my mom's tonight. She's making meatloaf. Really excited about that. And then, I know. Unfortunately, my brother-in-law's birthday is Sunday, so it's gonna chop up.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
This sucks.
So I'm actually okay with it. I think the consensus is most people are more excited for the Bengals Chiefs game. Since I am a Shanahan slurper and Niners ticket holder, I would prefer to watch that game. So at least I got them to do a dinner. So I will be focusing on that game and probably having 4 Guinnesses, which is kind of my limit to where I can function perfectly fine. And then go attend a birthday.
All right.
Birthday
pretty
can have
selfish
the,
of your pretty selfish of your family member for having his birthday on conference championship.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's
it is what it is. And whoever's slandering Meatloaf in chat, grow the heck up. What are we talking about roasting Meatloaf?
So underrated.
It's so underrated.
Yeah, I'm not a meatloaf guy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, well,
I'm not a meatloaf guy.
that's on you, man. I can't help you there. I can only do so much. All right.
Yeah.
Javon,
it's
try
hit or miss. Yeah,
try a meatloaf sandwich.
No,
I might have to
don't
respectfully pass on that one.
don't try that. Don't try that.
Spicy mustard.
If he doesn't like meatloaf, he's probably not gonna like a meatloaf Sammy. That just doesn't sound right.
You throw bread and spicy mustard on anything. I mean, I don't eat bologna by itself, but I put it in between Wonder Bread and mayonnaise and mustard. It's delicious.
Yeah, we might have to do a whole BTL episode next week on DeGen's diet.
I eat fairly well. I got some weird cravings though. I do have some weird cravings.
Oh man,
Hilarious.
All right. Yeah, it reminded me of, what was it, Old School? Have you guys seen Old School? Or what movie was it when Will Ferrell is yelling at his mom to get the meatloaf?
Yeah, it was Old School.
The meatloaf.
No.
Hilarious.
Wedding Crash. Was it Wedding
Wedding
Crashers?
Crashers.
It was Wedding Crashers.
Because he starts crashing funerals. My goodness. Whoever wrote that has got some demons. Whoever wrote that in the script. Great movie if you guys haven't seen that. There's something to do. When your bets lose this weekend and you're in piss and you need a laugh, throw on Wedding Crashers.
Krabs,
Right,
you seem like a guy who's
up.
probably said that's what Maryland does 5,000 times in your
Crab
life.
cakes and football, brother.
Yes, you probably
That's what
said
Maryland
that
does. I love
every
it.
day throughout high school.
If there's a football in my hands, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. If we're throwing the pigskin around, if we're, I don't know, any time we're on the beach, it's being said. Crab cakes and football. That's what we do. That's what we do. And if you guys haven't had a Chesapeake blue crab cake, you are living under a rock and you're fucking up. Next time you guys come out here, I'll take care of you guys. All right, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Nats Rays.
Sure, Nats Rays. I'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be doing it.
I'll be here. All right, looking like, oh shit, I didn't see who won the poll. I'm assuming it was
the Isles. It was the Isles.
Isles. They're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah.
Am I an OCMD guy? Krabs. Ocean City's disgusting, Chaco. But I'd be lying if I told you I didn't go there every once in a while. I'd be lying if I said that. Big Secrets guy. Great bar there. Have I had a Krabby Patty? No, I'm not in SpongeBob. Where's the poll? It's gone. We already got a winner, chat. So we're rolling with the Islanders in Reg. All right, we're passing the baton over to the Surgical Stream. Yeah, Blue Crab in the Blue Crabs hoodie. Sure.
There you go.
We're winning our bets this weekend. We're betting responsibly. All right. We're probably taking the fucking 49ers in some capacity. And you know what? We're probably taking the Chiefs in some capacity too. All right. So stay posted. We'll drop the cheat sheets as always. BTL Fridays are the best days. Gentlemen, appreciate you coming on here every Friday and showing serious heart. All right.
There we
Jovan,
go.
my job the rest of the day is to talk you into bed in Air Force.